Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. SLIN, and I'm so excited to present to you the CEVO LAN Finals cast. There were 4 teams that went to the CEVO LAN this last weekend: Elevate, Froyotech, Classic Mixup, and Street Hoops. And I'm really excited to bring you guys the matches from that LAN. These won't be live, but I'll cast it as if it were the same. I don't know the results. I didn't watch the matches, so you'll be watching these matches through with me as if you didn't know what happened. One thing before I start this first cast, I want to make a note about the match previous to this one. So this is actually the second match in a best of 3 between Elevate and Street Hoops. And in the first match on CP Granary, it was I tried to cast it, but it was totally uncastable. There were so many pause issues, and I'm not quite sure what happened at the venue, but there were some major issues causing players to disconnect, and the match was just completely unwatchable. So I'm sorry that I wasn't able to bring it to you. My plan is to bring to you every single match from this series, from this entire event, but I just couldn't bring that match to you guys. It was just unwatchable. So the final score for that first match was Elevate beating Street Hoops 5-0 on Granary, and now we're going to bring you map 2 on CP Badlands. And Badlands is a map that we all know and love, a map near and dear to all of our hearts. It used to be my favorite map in TF2, and I'm excited to see what these players can bring to the table. Checking out Badonsky beefing that rollout a little bit at the first little bit here. He's going to skip the health pack and opt for the faster sticky. Meanwhile, looks like the Elevate scouts are trying to control the underneath area as the soldiers bomb onto the enemy train for Street Hoops. So it's going to be a little bit of a train swap going on here as Ash tries to open up the play on the enemy train. He's down to 10 health, in a lot of trouble, but he's able to stay alive just a little bit longer. Meanwhile, Elevate playing one of the slowest mids that I've ever seen. Alpha gets the pick onto Grape underneath as Ash trades himself off with Mela near the balcony. So it's going to be a 5-on-3. Elevate playing it nice and slow and trying to keep the picks in their favor. Now the scouts dropping down and finish out these frags underneath. Kozen in a little bit of trouble. Scout onto him. He does the no-look dodge and is able to stay alive. And Ninja Nick, meanwhile, pulling a page out of Kozen's book and just running away to last. And yeah, that mid was just so slow. Both teams bombed the enemy trains and just played it super slowly. I'm surprised to see that Mela didn't open anything up there, and actually Ash was the one to initiate. And him being so hurt took a lot of heals away from the rest of his teammates. And I think that really hurt 20B there on that first middle. Wow, did Kozen hit that arrow? I'm not quite sure, but Rando's going to die here anyways, and Mela going to switch over to Spy. So the Ubers are even, but maybe 20B will push on this, and if they actually go, this will be a problem. With Alpha being down, and with Mela on Spy, that practically puts 20B at a oh no, here comes the Mela with the choke! He gets Ninja Nick at the choke, oh my goodness. So Mela actually able to save this middle for his team. Kozen's going to pop the Uber and come back in to block this. Mela goes down to Sizer underneath, and Kozen's got to be really careful here as Sizer tries to go for the pick onto him, doesn't get it to go, and Street Hoops just barely able to pull something. I mean, the fact that they even got anything off there and they even had a chance at Kozen was very surprising. But the great pick by Mela onto Ninja Nick was very solid. It saved his team the round. And it was looking pretty. It was actually looking pretty dire for Elevate. They were down a lot of players going into that. And Badonsky tried to hold the battlements here. Goes down to Grape, and looks like 20 people will be able to hold on to last just a little bit longer. Kozen, 80% Uber. They might even choose to go on this into last, but without their demo man, it's really hard to get the point captured. Putting stickies on the point and getting that capture time is a major part of the Badlands push, but we'll see what happens anyways, because Elevate are going to go for this. They try and clear the trap on the point, and they drop 2 players to the trap. Alpha and Mela both go down, and this whole thing's going to go to shit as 20B able to easily get those picks, and now they're going to start switching back to their on classes, making their way out of last. And Elevate, no Uber for them, and trying to hold the yard. Rando's going to get caught in the lobby, but here comes Nick with the Uber out towards Grape. Grape clearing the trap on Grape Bridge and making his way towards the choke. Elevate down a player, and actually Grape's just going to start beginning to push in the mid, assuming he has the Spire. So goes through the house. House is obviously the better push of the 2, gets you closer to the middle point. Here comes that pop. Grape coming out of here, and Kozen is totally out. He's not going to get killed it all, and they only picked that 20B get with the super. Oh, they do get Mela as well in addition to Alpha, so that's pretty good. They actually get 2 picks out of this, and that's exactly what you want. They're going to get the middle cap down, and that's going to keep Elevate 2 players down heading into this next push. And 20B, what they're looking for is an Uber force out of Kozin. Kozin doesn't want to use his Uber. He's playing back on the rear bridge very smartly, and Decimate trying to fight this 1v1 against the buff scout at the forward spawn, and I can't tell who it is, but it's going to be Sizer who goes down to Badonsky, and that's going to be 2 down the other way now. So Elevate were 2 down, they switch it back around there, and 20B are the ones who are 2 down, and Kozin, here he comes now with the Uber, making his way back in towards middle. And 20B's got to be very careful that they don't bleed too many picks, but Paragon, as I say that, he goes down in the lower valley, and 20B are just trying to make it out alive and maybe get Uber in time to block Spire, but Elevate are coming back in. They got that mid cap down. It's gonna be 6-on-5 as they begin pushing towards Gray, and look how quickly Elevate are getting in towards this. This is a really important note for you guys to take, those lower level teams out there. Look how quickly they begin moving in. I mean, here comes the Uber exchange though, in the trash. And Kozin's got to be careful. He doesn't have a lot of players to help him out here on the low ground, and Deadbolt is all over him with those stickies. Takes him down. Sizer from the high ground, zoning out these scouts as well, and they're doing a great job. 20B's doing a great job of playing together, playing the heals, and getting the picks that they need. Decimate, one of the only players alive with any health. Benassy's going to be totally out of this middle, and Decimate's going to go for the bush play. He's a bush baby. He's going to go for that Camperoonie, but he gets spotted out smartly by Paragon. 20B. They got the pick advantage, they got the respawn advantage, they got the Uber advantage, they got everything going their way, the wind at their backs as they begin pushing at the forward spawn. Sizer goes down to Mela at the, looks to be, I don't know what that was, Valley or something like that. Mela's going to try and make it back to forward spawn, and actually makes it out of there pretty cleanly. And Alpha going for defensive sniper. Not sure I agree with this play. He's actually looking at the forward spawn where Mela's holding, so he's got to be looking towards the choke now. Badonsky, man, I wish I wasn't looking at Alpha's POV, because Badonsky went down, I think either house or choke or something like that, and 20B are going to begin pushing their way in. They need to move quicker though. They need to start moving in with this Uber before Kozin can get it. They get the Spire down, but they got 10 precious seconds to get into last wall. Badonsky's dead while Kozin doesn't have Uber. You need to go right now and exchange these right now. I mean, they had a perfect opportunity when Badonsky was dead, when Alpha was on sniper. That was your chance to go. 20B just moved it a little bit too slowly, a little bit too cautiously, and they've allowed Elevate to get their Uber in time for last. But the cap by Paragon goes down anyways. Badonsky fell asleep at the wheel. He was respawning, tried to throw stickies at the point, didn't see Paragon get in there in time, and gets that capture down for his team. So 20B are going to take the lead in this match. The score is 1-0. The point spread's just about what you would expect. Rando a little bit lower than what you would expect, but that's fine. It's just the first round, and now we head towards the second middle. Ash, eyes on him again to see what he's going to do to open up the play like he did last time. He actually goes for something a lot more conservative, and the counter bomb there forces him out of his position on the train. Paragon gets the early pick, and actually the scouts, Paragon getting 2 picks here, looking for a third one onto Rando. That's Sizer actually helping him out there and taking that one down. And I think 20B are in the arguably better position. They have the high ground. They have both of their scouts alive. And the scouts are one of the best classes to have at the end of a team fight. And you can see Alpha trying to keep control of that train. Badonsky working his way in to try and help him out there. Alpha focusing onto the scout on the left. Sizer down to 17 health, but no, Paragon picks up 2 more kills. That's a 4K for Paragon on this second middle. Excellent job by him. He's going to get the 5K even onto Kozin. No, here comes Mela to save the day as the Uber's popped. He saves him from Paragon, but Ninja Nick has Uber here, and he's going to be looking to make something happen on this middle point. You can see a lot of cap time going to go in the way of Elevate, but don't worry, 20B will come in here with their Uber and block it in time. You can see Grape now out of the house, popping in, and he's going to defend his own balcony, taking down Decimate. And Mela is in a decent amount of trouble, but help. Oof, wow. Mela taking down Grape there right at the end of that. Kozin goes down to a pick by Deadbolt. And it's hard to tell who's going to come out on top of this team fight because Elevate has a lot of fragging classes alive, a lot of fragging power coming in. And as I say that, Alpha and Badonsky collapse onto the low ground and clean up the rest of these picks here. Mela gets the last one onto Paragon, and Elevate are successful with this push. I would have liked to see Grape do something better with that Uber. I know that he went to balcony and got the pick on the scout, but he really needed to use that Uber into the bulk of their team. If he's just going to jump a lone scout on balcony, he might as well not have used Uber, but they had the right idea to block the point with the Uber. I just don't think that was the best Uber that I've ever seen. But, they were down a couple players there, and they tried the best that they could, and now Elevate are in control of this match. You got Kozin on Kritzkrieg, you got Ninja Nick on normal, And let's see what happens here. Ash on defensive sniper, and both teams actually play a defensive sniper. We saw Alpha on sniper before. We see Ash on sniper now. I haven't seen a lot of Ash on sniper, and I'm surprised that he's the one to go sniper out of the whole bunch. I mean, they have a very talented set of snipers on 20B, and Ash out of all of them goes sniper. But let's see what happens. Paragon goes down to Mela on the flank, and that's going to open it up. The Kritzkrieg is used in by Badonsky. He's fishing for picks on the balcony, but isn't able to find anything at all. Mela, though, is on fire. He's able to pick up 2, and with 20B down both of their scouts, they're not going to be able to contest the Spire at all. Here they go now for Elevate in towards last. They need to get there before Ninja Nick gets the Uber, and it looks like it's all there. So here's Alpha on towards the point. Deadbolt dropping down to try and block. Ninja Nick gets the Uber in time to block it, and Rando goes down. Here comes 20B pushing their way out of last now, and Elevate with the respawners is going to try and defend Spire. Badonsky backing his way off with the help of his scouts, and here comes 20B. Oh, Sizer a little bit overextended, eats too much damage from Badonsky and gets finished off. It looks like 20B are back on their hind legs again. Oh no, now they got Badonsky, now they're coming back into gray. Okay, Kozin gets the Uber saw and gets the Uber in time, but he's got the crossbow out now. What are you doing, Kozin? He drops the Uber, and Elevate now, they're on their hind legs. It's going back and forth so quickly. Elevate had Uber, and then they didn't, and Kozin pulled out the crossbow. He's so greedy, and he drops that Uber, and now they're going for the desperation Mela baby back cap last play. I don't know if this is going to work out for them, because 20B has a lot of Spire cap time, and now Mela, the best he can hope for is maybe a pick on a Ninja Nick. He's going to rotate around the side Spire. Need to take a breath here. Oh my goodness. Kozin on Kritzkrieg, and let's see what Mela can do on Spy. Oh no, he gets discovered. He gets discovered there, and that's going to be the end of his life. Ash trading himself on the other end of things as Alpha hits a couple big headshots at the choke. That's going to force Ninja Nick to go around through the house in the Uber. This Uber's going to be so predictable, though. I don't think it's going to work out well for them. You can see how far back Elevate are playing, and they're still going to be able to force the Uber with the sniper. So yeah, they forced the Uber onto Ninja Nick. Elevate are just totally out of there at the choke, and got to be watching out for this Kritzkrieg back in towards middle. So all eyes now onto Badonsky as the Kritzkrieg is used in. He gets the pick onto Grape. He gets another one onto Deadbolt, and Elevate. Ooh, nice 3K by Badonsky. They're able to defend the middle point and work their way back in towards Spire. And with Ninja Nick running away by himself and not building Uber, this is actually looking pretty bad for them, because Kozin is going to keep that Kritzkrieg advantage. And if I were 20B, I would be doing a forward hold, but looks like they're a lot more daring. They're going to hold last, and they just got to be careful that Badonsky doesn't go for this Kritzkrieg out of main. Is that double engineer play that I'm seeing? Okay, and mini sentries? What is this? I thought, okay, you know, I don't know the rules. I don't know the rules for CEVO, so I'm lying to you if I tell you that I memorized the whitelist and the ban list, but in ESCA, there's no 2 engineers allowed, and 20B, I don't know what they were doing. And yeah, Decimate even in chat's like, mini? Is that loud? Okay, so I thought I was going crazy here, but apparently the whitelists just don't work on this server. So, yeah, okay, Paragon admitting that he's using his Highlander loadout, that's fine. Okay, so I don't know what just happened there, but from my understanding, you know, 20B broke the rules. I don't think it's a round-breaking rule, but Elevate should have used their Kritzkrieg in last with the advantage that they had, and instead they just took it too slow, and maybe they were too busy debating the engineer thing to actually just go with the Kritzkrieg, but they decide not to go, and now they're in an awkward situation. You know, Ninja Nick has Uber beats crits, and they're going to crits onto Rando, bottom right. Okay, counter pop, and actually that was pretty funny with the reflecting rockets on the pyro play there by Grape, but it's just not going to be good enough. I think Ninja Nick should have just dropped down sooner. He knew that Kozin was on Kritzkrieg, and he didn't drop down and block the point. So a bit of a misplay, actually a lot of a misplay by 20B, and that's going to give a round to Elevate. So the scores are evened up here, 1-1. Badonsky, early sticky there onto Deadbolt. That's going to be disaster. Ooh, taking down Paragon as well. Badonsky just destroying 20B out of that valley, just not allowing them to get up onto the high ground. And Badonsky, a huge part of that middle. We've seen some big plays out of individual players for these teams. We saw Paragon destroying the last mid, and Badonsky on this one really opening that one up for Elevate, and making that look so one-sided, making it look so easy too, honestly. I mean, he was just way faster in the middle, got the early stick onto the demo to keep him in the house, and got the stick onto the scout. I mean, just, oh my goodness, what is 20B gonna do here? Well, you got Deadbolt on that spot above the Spire, and I was actually, was it Termo was the one who was using that on Team Immunity? He was really abusing that against Froyotech at I-52, and Deadbolt gonna be doing some of that above last point play. Nope, actually he's back in spawn. Okay. Mela back on Spy. Not something that we haven't seen before. Goes for the decloak, and Ninja Nick is able to look him in the eyes and say, nuh-uh. So that might trigger a counter sack here from 20B. Typically when you go 6 on to 5, you go for a counter sack or the straight up push. But when you're pushing out a last point just straight up, it's very risky. So you'll typically see a counter sack from a roaming soldier or a scout. But it has to happen quickly, otherwise the respawner comes back in time. And 20B decided to not pull the trigger on that one there. So Elevate could do the same thing if they wanted to again. I don't think the spy play was a good idea. And looks like Alpha agrees with me. He's going to go to Sniper. And the Sniper sightlines aren't the best on Badlands. But we've seen some pretty cool shots out of top left and top right. And even out of bottom, out of the barrels. So, you know, this isn't something these teams haven't seen before. Badlands, a map that everyone knows like the back of their hand. And yeah, 20B are doing a great job of hiding out of those sniper sight lines. Ooh, as I say that, Ash drops down in the main and takes down Alpha. And again, they should be going for this counter sack here. Ash is trying for something in the bottom left, but yeah, there's nothing he can do when shooting upward as a soldier against Mela. There's nothing he can do there. And Mela might even go for a counter sack, because it's a 6 on 5 in the other direction, and Elevate could do something here. Shooting shots onto a demo man who's in spawn isn't going to really work out for you. Badonsky does pick up the kill on the sentry gun, and the Ubers are exchanged top left. 20B with the better Uber, though, should be able to pick up some frags with this. They've trapped the players behind the point that they want to get. That's Rando down. Grape here with the shotgun out, trying to finish off Decimate, but he's down to 20 health. Can he get it? Yeah, okay. Sizer with the pistol out to finish that frag off there. It's a 2-on-2. Kozin with the Uber saw out. He wants to do the little duel, but Sizer is interrupting that one there with his knife, and that's going to take Kozin down. 20B able to successfully hold off last point there, but wait, here comes the last ditch effort by Mela. Not gonna work out for him. 20B a little bit hesitant to move out, but this should be all the green light. This should be the coast is clear. Ooh, Alpha body shot into Sizer on the battlements. That's actually a big problem for 20B. They're not going to get the cap because the scouts are such a key part of getting the Spire cap down. If one of your scouts goes down, it's very difficult to make that happen. So actually with Mela going into last, that probably is what held 20B back so long. And with Elevate getting those respawners up in time, that was actually a nice play by Mela to hold them back there at last. Because if Mela hadn't done that sacrifice play, I mean, he was a goner either way when he did that play, but if he hadn't done that, 20B would have just pushed right out and gotten cap time on Spire. So nice little heads up play there. Paragon is this is a cool little trick, checking to see what gun Kozin is on. Kozin is on normal Uber though, so nothing to fear there. Level 2 sentry gun on the top right. Is Sizer gonna make it level 3? Level 3 is arguably better in this position. Oh my god, I should be keeping the camera on Alpha. He's on fire right now, taking down Grape. Let's see if he gets the third pick here on top right. Body shots on the soldier, and he's looking top left now as Elevate and 20B exchange their Ubers. A lot of cap time on last point. Elevate threatening the point, and they're going to come back in here for the repush. Paragon, pick on to Rando. Great. Bombing top right. Ooh, nice directs on the Mela. Shotgun out finishes off Alpha, and 20B again winning this team fight at last. I love the way that they employ that sentry gun because it takes so much fire away from your teammates. Even if you do nothing else with the sentry gun, you're baiting out ammo, you're taking shots away from your teammates, or you're using shots on a gun that should be used on enemies. And so there's really no harm done when they use that gun, and it's used beautifully. And 20B are able to have very successful last defenses, but their pushouts are not so successful. You can see that they're struggling here to make their way out of last onto the Grey Bridge, and if they make a mistake, if they overextend here and wipe, that'll be disaster for their last hold. But they do have the Spire cap, and looks like Elevate are going to get it back, but by then 20B will respawn and yada yada. So again, going for that sentry at last. It's very comfortable. But one of the things that you saw from 20B was, okay, I better focus on the casting here as Mela takes down Paragon, and that will initiate the push from Elevate. They get Ash as well, who forces the Uber upper lobby pretty early, but as long as they can get this gun down, they might be okay. Nick still milking that Uber, stalling for his respawners to get up in time. They pop through main. Sizer gonna try and chase this Gray. He sees Decimate on Sniper, takes him down easily, and Elevate have backed themselves out to Yard. There's one lone Elevate player, and that is Mela, doing the same thing he did last time, just staying in that upper lobby as long as he can, stalling the 20B team and preventing them from pushing out of last in a timely manner. And Elevate have a decent number of respawns here, but they're not in position to contest the Spire. Deadbolt doing a great job of forcing them out. Badonsky goes for the block because that back cap comes in from Alpha through the drop down, and oh my goodness, Elevate picked themselves up around there. Nice little play by Alpha to do that. And like I said, if that push out doesn't come in a timely manner, the respawners will punish you in the end. Oh my god, Deadbolt, what happened there, baby, on your rollout? Uh-oh. Elevate should be able to take this one here with the botch rollout from Deadbolt, but we'll see what actually ends up happening here. Bomber's up in the air. Kozen goes down early to Paragon. And Elevate, wow, so much cap time, nice. They get the cap down. They should just begin pushing the Spire now. Just start going for it because they don't need these frags here to win this out. But they're going for the frags anyways. Decimate picking up a couple kills of his own. They pretty much cleaned up everybody. Ash is the only guy alive down to 7 health, but he's going down. Elevate, solid mid from them off of the botch rollout from Deadbolt. Nice little recovery though, because Paragon was able to get Kozen down pretty early on in the fight. So even though they lost that middle, they did get Kozen down. I would have liked to see Ninja Nick stay alive and keep that Uber advantage, but Elevate, yeah, were able to get that out there. And they also, something we saw that they did was to get a 6x on middle. They had so much cap time on the point that 20B, there was just no way they were going to get up there in time to block it with Deadbolt being so slow. So now you got Elevate in a position where they could potentially push here on Deadbolt being dead, or they could just choose to build up an Uber advantage instead, because 20B, they're playing defensively right now, and let's see what Elevate choose to do there. Yeah, looks like they're going to wait for Alpha to respawn, catch up to his team. Nick isn't really building as efficiently as he could be doing right now, and Elevate have built themselves up into a bit of an advantage. Sizer goes down at the drop down. That's going to trigger the push here from Rando and Mela through the bottom. They're going to go straight for Nick. He's the target. They got him down, and now they're just, the rest of these picks are going to be easy frags for Elevate, who pick themselves up their 3rd round in a row. That'll bring us to halftime. All right, welcome back. We are at the second half between Elevate and 20B. And yeah, one of the other things that I wanted to mention was that 20B really struggled in their pushouts out of last, so if Elevate can put them in the same position again, they should win this match easily. But if 20B, for them, they need to start winning middles if they want to get back into this match. As if they can win a middle, that'll really help them out. It looks like Mela going straight for Deadbolt on this middle. Gets him down right away. There wasn't any scout support for him. And meanwhile, talking about scouts, Decimate chasing out the combo and cleaning up kills underneath middle point. Sizer, one of the last players left alive for 20B on this mid, goes down, and Elevate pick themselves up another mid. Kozen has not been doing the best job of surviving, and I think that, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted to happen on the last round. They get the pick on the Kozen, they get Ninja Nick out alive, and even though they lose middle, they should be able to just take it right back with the Subaru. That's exactly how you need to do it. So Mela gonna switch over to Spy. We've seen him get the pick onto Ninja Nick before, but this time I think he's going to be a little bit slow because 20B are already pushing the choke, and Mela is not in position to make this happen. This Uber is going to be used probably right at the choke. You see Grape trying to dodge. He's trying not to use. Where is Mela right now? He's going to uncloak in the corner. Nick is going to spot him out, though. And, yeah, that's going to be... Ooh, what's going to happen here? Nick is going to... No! Nick is just going to walk his way in without using Uber. That's beautiful. So they spotted out Mela. They're walking their way into the house. They're going to get middle down for free, essentially. And they got a couple picks there as well with just the threat of Uber. Beautifully done there by 20B. Not what I was expecting at all. I thought they were going to have to use the Uber at the choke, but looks like they're going to be able to continue rolling it into last. They got enough Spire cap time. And Kozen's just about to get Uber here. It still works out for 20B. You know, they get 2 points with without using Uber. So nothing to complain about there as Sizer picks up the kill onto Mela. And here comes Grape into the top left. Uber is popped pretty early. Kozin popping late, but he's down 2 players on this fight. 20B gonna kite away the Elevate Uber and probably push their way back in here as Sizer goes down upper right. Here comes 20B now, pushing and putting pressure on the top left, getting a lot of frags. And Badlands in a lot of trouble there. And this looks like a round for 20B, bringing back the comeback. All right. Score is now 2-3. Street Hoops trailing by 1. And yeah, they didn't win the middle last time, but they did get their medic out alive. And let's see if they do it again. Deadbolt not the best at these Badlands rollouts. Let's see what Grape does on this mid. He's going to take it slow, spamming up Decimate underneath. Now he's going to counter bomb Mela, or sorry, Rando at his own train. And Mela, let's see what he's going to go for. He's going to go for a bomb onto the train, puts pressure onto Grape, misses in the shot there, and Elevate just do not have control of the high ground. They've lost both of their soldiers. They're going to have to give that one up there. 20B, meanwhile, not healthy enough to give chase, but they get mid down, and looks like here they go through the gray. Woo! Podolsky and Decimate going down, but where is Kozin? That's the prize. Where is he? He's backed himself up to spawn. And Ninja Nick just gonna take upper lobby and maybe even push top left before the pyro can get in place. Yeah, they just go for it. Rando, gets popped on just barely in time. Let's see if they can get any frags off of this. Ninja Nick has split a lot of Uber, but yeah, they're just not able to really do this. Oh, they go for it. Wow, no, it's hard to tell. It's so scrappy. Elevate do pick up the frags though. It was looking a little bit dicey for them when the Uber ran out at the top of the stairs. But yeah, good frags coming in from Decimate. Alpha down at the choke. Decimate capping the Spire. 20B have the numbers. They want to come back in on this. Decimate in a little bit of trouble. Backs himself up to forward spawn, and looks like 20B have this Spire all but captured. Badonsky trying to contest from side Spire. Paragon missing a couple shots, and the soldiers from Elevator are doing a ton of work. Speaking of soldiers for 20B, they're trying to get Kozin down, but ooh, Kozin just barely staying alive. Sizers are the only one left alive here. He's going for lasts. He's stuck back there. Without Spire captured, he can't do anything back here, though. He's just trying to pull players back, trying to stall them as long as he can. Looks like Elevate have enough capture time on middle that they're comfortable leaving Sizer here to capture Spire. And now 20B need to throw themselves onto middle and stop this cap for Sizer. But there's just so much cap time, and look at 20B. They're not in position to block Spire, or to block middle. So Elevate, with Sizer going down, begin pushing their way in towards Spire. Ooh. Spot out the trap. Uber's popped. Rando jumps to side Spire. Ninja Nick is totally out. And looks like Elevate will just have to settle for a Spire cap. So Spire cap down for Elevate. Ninja Nick, he has to decide. Do they want to push out with a 40% advantage? And they've been really struggling on these last push outs. And with Elevate in position, I mean, this is one of the hardest last push outs to do. And even on Uber advantage, you have to cross the entirety of yard chasing with your Uber. And looks like 20B don't want to take that risk. They're just going to settle for holding last and playing it conservatively. Paragon maybe exploring a little bit now that Nick has it. This is looking riskier and riskier as time passes because Kozin is getting closer and closer to Uber. And yeah, they're just not going to go for it. What they could have done, though, while they knew that Kozin didn't have Uber yet, was maybe just go for a one-man sacrifice, because by the time the Ubers were exchanged, then that one man would have respawned. But I think that's what Paragon was going for when he explored the upper lobby, but didn't die quick enough. I know it sounds weird to say you need to die faster, but you literally need to die faster if you want to respawn in time for the fight. Paragon, nice shot on Badonsky, top left. That's actually going to trigger a push from 20B. No Demo Man means no traps, and this is an opportunity for Grape to make something happen with this Uber. He begins pushing top left battlements, but Rando is right here. He's not afraid to give this up. Ubers are exchanged on top left bats, and Rando trying to push through. He's trying to get 20B to split, but he's actually in a terrible situation now. Kozin trying to back it out. They're down a lot of players, and 20B are able to hold on to last. Now they just need to capture Spire. Paragon putting that cap time that they need. And yeah, Elevate only 3 players up, gonna have to back out to choke. 20B finally a successful last push out off of that headshot onto Badlands by Paragon. Nicely done there. Ubers are even, and things are going to slow down once again. It would be very uncharacteristic for Elevate to push off Uber like this on evens. And yeah, Alpha, he feels comfortable on Sniper. So they're just going to let him snipe. It's funny because these two teams probably have some of the best snipers in the game right now on both of these teams. The one sniper that I think that's missing in this list would be Clockwork, but there's just so much sniping power. And Badlands is a surprisingly long map with some decent sightlines. And, you know, a lot of the top players have this theory that, okay, if I hit every single headshot, I'm better than a scout. So that's, of course, if you assume that you hit every headshot, and nobody does. But we'll see what happens here as Paragon shoves the choke, taking down Badonsky, and with the help of Grape, takes down Decimate. A little bit of a wrap play going on here, and 20B are going to rotate their combo back to block the Spire. This is beautifully, beautifully done by 20B. First done by Classic Mix-Up, but oh my goodness, what a great play here. They're going to get middle down. The Spire cap is not going to be done at all. Ninja Nick didn't even have to use Uber to block Spire, so this is just a complete wipe from Elevate. 20B. Great wrap play. You never want to wrap at the forward spawn on even Ubers because they'll just do that to you. 20B now with a chance to win this round back. Grape taking significant damage here. Gotta have to pop. Oh no, this is actually a really bad Uber, but Ash somehow got the pick onto Kozen upper lobby. That was a weird bit of action going on there. With Kozen going down, 20B, their chance for this round is still alive as Paragon and gets a pick onto Mela. It looks like Grape's getting a couple picks there in upper lobby as well. They're just going to go straight to last with this. Devil puts the stickies on last. And that's going to be the round for 20B. 2 in a row. They've tied up the match here at 3-3. This is anybody's game, and I'm so happy to see 20B putting up a good performance against Elevate, which many are considered to be top tier contenders for the crown. And with 20B showing that they can hang too, man, this is going to be a close LAN with all 4 teams being able to compete. Looks like Sizer and Alpha trade at the beginning. 20B not in the best position, but Elevate are just backing out of middle and giving that up. Mela the only one really anywhere. It looks like Elevate just got to... Well, actually both teams are backing up. This is quite strange, really. Both teams trying to back up and utilize their health packs in-house. And, well, what is Ash doing? What a goofball. What a goofball. Nick gonna back up. He hasn't been building as effectively as Kozen has, but he should be able to get Uber in time for last. They're not gonna have a chance to contend the Spire here because they're down 2 players, but Paragon's gonna go for it anyways. A risky, risky maneuver. And, oof, yeah, it gets taken down by Mela at the forward spawn. 20B in trouble. Elevate want to push quickly. They want to go and make these team fights happen. A little bit too much overextending, though. It's like the flank for Elevate went in and the combo stayed back. A really weird play. They get the force on the combo. They get the better Uber at the choke. But a 3 on the 6 Uber is not going to end well for Elevate. They just have to back up and give up all hopes of Spire. That was looking really good for them. They could have taken the Spire after they got the pick onto the Scout of 20B, but I don't know. Elevate just kind of botched that. They threw their flank in for a 2-man sack for a force. That just wasn't worth it at all. Elevate could actually push here if they want to. Sizer's dead. And they're going to buff up fully before going. Here they come. Rando looking straight at the combo. Counter bomb by Grape is unsuccessful. A lot of picks there for Elevate. This is plenty to work with here, actually. And this could be the round here for Elevate. They're going to get a lot of Spire cap. Grape is going to be the only respawner who's able to defend the last point. Badonsky wants it. He's all over it, man. He's all over it. That's the round for Elevate. Nicely done. 4-3 match point for Elevate to win this best of 3. As my phone is ringing. Who is calling me? Oh god, let me... Alright, so Badonsky's getting himself towards middle. Beating out Deadbolt once again. And Deadbolt arriving quite late, but hitting some decent damage on it. Badlands gonna force him back there. Decimate pretty banged up as well. And 20B have the health advantage they need to close out this middle. Here comes the bomb onto Kozin, taking him down. Badlands, Alpha, Rando, Decimate all going down, and only Mela is alive down in the valley. He gets cleaned up there by Ash. And that is a great mid by 20B. I was surprised. I thought that Badlands had that one wrapped up once again by beating Deadbolt to middle, but Deadbolt was a lot healthier. They had a lot of pressure coming into Badlands, pushing him back, and Decimate was not able to help because he was getting hurt as well. And then a really good bomb by Ash and a really solid middle by 20B puts them in a great position to win this round. They have full Uber advantage. It's gonna rely on a spy play from Alpha or sniper play from Alpha or an NG play here from Decimate. I don't think he's gonna get this gun up quite in time because the Uber is already coming in for 20B. Deadbolt takes down the gun very quickly. Now they're clearing out the top right side. Good damage coming in from Deadbolt, getting the pick on to Decimate. Saw in from Kozin, but he's not gonna get Uber in time, and that is gonna be the cap for Street Hoops. Tie game here, folks. 3-1 Elevate in the first half, 3-1 Street Hoops in the second half. And it all comes down to this. It seems like the team who wins middle wins the entire round. And let's see if 20B can close it out. Great hit in a couple early rockets, slowing down the progress for Elevate up the valley side. That's going to get a couple picks for 20B. Sizer, a kill on the Mela here. And there's no threats from Elevate. They've completely backed themselves out to Gray Bridge, out to last point. And 20B gonna keep moving in with this advantage that they have. They know Badonsky's dead. They know there's no trap set up, and they could potentially push their way into lobby. That's exactly what's happening here as Sizer continues pushing that advantage, getting the pick onto Alpha on top right bats. That's gonna put Alpha on the longest spawn wave that the world has ever seen. And 20B have a few precious seconds to make something happen. Sizer, ooh, a little bit overextended there at last, but he's just doing the sack thing. He's just letting it even out here. That was essentially a risk-free play for Sizer. 20B down a player. They don't have control of the lobby, and that's actually kind of a problem for them because Elevate have this forward hold thing going on. Grape comes in here and disrupts that trash push that Elevate was going for. They tried to push the Scout Paragon at the bottom right, but that didn't work out for them at all. And here they go in towards last. Paragon going down, but they still have one more number they can throw. Uber's used by Ninja Nick, Kozin as well. They're trying to block the point. Soldier above the last point there to try and get that cap down. Meanwhile, Deadbolt's got stickies. He's putting the hurt onto Rando, down to 100 health. Rando goes for it though. 16 health. He goes down to Sizer. Grape still sitting there above the last point. There's stickies blocking him from getting that cap down. Badonsky knows he's there. It's a very dicey situation. Sizer trying to push him back, trying to get him to dead that trap, but Grape gets handled by Decimate above the point. Badonsky able to reset the stickies. Here comes Deadbolt in a last-ditch attempt to try and get the cap. No, not going to happen. And Ninja Nick, he's all by himself upper lobby. He goes down, and Elevate keep almost everybody alive here for that last hold. And wow, how the momentum has shifted. Elevate gonna get this cap down easily. Ninja Nick going down so late in that fight is a huge problem for his team. I don't know what happened to Melee. He got a 22-second spawn. That's definitely the longest spawn I've ever seen in TF2. Elevate though, 60% advantage. They're not going to be deterred by Melee going down. Going to begin their push towards the house. Here comes Ash for the sacrifice. He goes for Spire. Grape, he's trying to poke in at the choke a little bit to help out there as Sizer goes down to Decimate in the house. And uh-oh, things are falling apart here for Street Hoops. They're losing way too many players trying to do this play at mid. And here comes Elevate now, moving their way in after using their Uber. Arrow hit by Kozin, not going to do anything, but still looks pretty cool. And Elevate, though, they're moving their way in. Decimate tried to go for a force upper lobby, doesn't get it to go. 20B not in a position to contest the Spire. They're down so many, but do they want to block? They have Uber. This is a potential block situation, but they're down so many numbers. This is such a risky play for them. But Nick is so hurt, he's going to have to use the Uber. Grape gets the pick on the Badonsky at the upper battlements. But they didn't block the Spire, and now here comes Elevate for last. They want it. They want it badly. Alpha kills Ninja Nick, and Elevate can just play the heals for last point. Grape, shotgun out, takes Alpha down, but Elevate, the damage has been done. They got Ninja Nick in the lobby. That's all they really needed. Kozin now just needs to stay alive, climb the Spire, resist the forward hold, and this round is theirs. And my, what a swing we have seen. 20B were just moments away from closing out this round and winning this match, and now Elevate in control of the match fully. And here they come out of main, taking down the level 1 gun easily in the top left. They don't even take it down, actually. They just get that cap, and that's going to be it, folks. 20B lose to Elevate in a clean sweep, 2-0 across 2 maps. 5-0 on Granary, which was the ugly match that I couldn't cast. And then 5-4 here on Badlands in a really close, really exciting match. And there's going to be much more to come. So don't forget to stick around. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more Team Fortress 2 casts. And I will see you guys on the next CEVO cast video. Catch you then.